Good morning. Good morning. That was interesting. I just knocked my whole basket of ephemera on the floor um, right before we went live. So let me look and make sure that everything is working like it should. On it looks like it is. Oh, and we've got good volume and everything's working. It's amazing because hey guys, I'm Brenda Hillard, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in North Central Minnesota. Doesn't matter because you can order from me and I can be your demonstrator no matter where you are. Um, Lots of stuff happening. New catalog comes out on next week, actually. The mini catalog ends on the 30th. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Joyce. Oh my gosh, you guys. So I'm digging through ephemera and I'm late, like 2 minutes late to start. And then right before it went live, I dropped my whole basket of stuff on the floor. So I'll be right back. I have to pick it up. And now it's all a mess. But you know what? It's okay. It's still going to be an awesome little live. And I have lots of fun things to show you as far as ephemera is concerned. And a lot of people are like, what is ephemera? Give me just a second. I almost got it off. And I need all of it because we're going to be creating on, hopefully I didn't get my big rear on the picture or on the screen there. Too good. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, who do we have on? Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Joyce. And now I've got my basket of ephemera and I'm a bit of a mess. But it is spring here, back at the lake. The trumpeter swans are here. The loons are back. Ducks everywhere, birds chirping, and today the dock goes in, so this is exciting. All right, let me flip down to my workstation, and I'm going to show you what we've got going on with the camera. Workstation, not working, not good. What is going on? So that's on pause. Come on, camera. I am here too. Hey, Mary Saint. We gotta try this again. All right. Oh boy, I thought this was all gonna work so lovely. What's going on? My camera's in. Let's see if I can get it to refresh. Oh, there it is. Great. We're back. Look at this ephemera mess that I have going on here. Wowzers, huh? But it's fun. It's really fun. And I'm going to share with you like where to look at this stuff. This is the catalog that will be, I think I have to go up just a little bit. I don't feel like my screen is very big. Oops, sorry about that. Little Dramamine, right? Okay. Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog. And this one is going to be ending, if you look on the back of your catalog, May 1st through April 30th. So the last day to order from this catalog is April 30th. And I've been posting all kinds of stuff saying, you know, it's time to pick out your last chance stuff, get the free shipping. I hope you were able to cash in on that. But anyway, let's take a look inside. Ephemera can be found on page 19, right here. And it says it starts with cards and envelopes. And Then you'll see underneath, add an ephemera pack. And then there's the Simply Said stamp set shown on this page. So I'm going to be using most of these things with the addition of one other. And the good news is, let me tell you the good news. Simply Said stamp set here, right here, is going to be carrying over into the new catalog. So there you go. It's a great set. But the one thing we're going to add is on page 17, you'll see that there's basic white note cards and envelopes. And it's a great value. You get 10, is that right? Yes, you get 10 note cards and 10 envelopes, 20 pieces total. And that's what I'm going to be using for my card bases today. And I have lots of ideas to show you. Did I tell you? The new annual catalog is coming. Hi, Ginger. Ginger, tell me you got your catalog. Yes, I hope you did. Anyway, I did not mail out catalogs, so if you'd like a catalog, I didn't use the mailing selector. I was on vacation and I just didn't feel like dealing with it. But if you want a new catalog, please let me know and I'll be happy to get you one. All right? All right, here we go. This is the other catalog that's going to be last day to order from this one is May 5th. So go through your catalog, look at your wish list, and get those in before these two catalogs go away. This one goes away on the 30th. This one goes away on May 5th. Okay? Great. Let's start creating. So in these ephemera packs, there's ephemera that has a multitude of segments. So these are black and white, and there's 2 sheets of each of these. And then there's 2 sheets that are black backgrounds with white lettering. And then there's now, see, I made a huge mess. Look at my basket, huge mess. But there's flower ephemera pack. And all of these, you just die cut them out. Let me open this back up to page 19. And then I can give you the right name. So this is the fully flowering ephemera pack. And it's this easy. You just punch out the piece that you want. So while we call ourselves stamping friends, we don't always have to stamp. Then there is, man, did I make a mess out of this? But, all right. There's these sentiments that are adorable and in color. And this is part of the Say Something ephemera pack. These cards and card bases come from the January through April mini catalog. They're pinks and they're blues, and I think they're super pretty. And I did make a card on one of my past lives that looked like this from that ephemera. A little bit of the gold trim, which is, by the way, going away. So grab that if you want. And these little hearts, the little gold flat hearts, those are on the last chance. So anyway, but that's from that set. And then, you guys, I wish I would have dumped this on the floor, but you know what? I did. All right. Then, this is one of the cards that I made with the fully flowering ephemera pack. And then this card base with the cute matchy-matchy envelope comes from the Calming Creek cards and envelopes on the top of page 119 in your catalog. So there's lots of things. If you dig around, here's another one. This is the navy blue. Um, there's lots of things if you dig around and kind of mix and match in here, all right? I'm going to grab my note cards and envelopes out of here. And, oh, here's another. This is cute, too. This is called the Labels and Layers. And it's already got the labels for you. So you can just grab, like, let's grab this label, right? And I already used this flower on another card that looks like, now this is the note cards and envelopes, but I used that flower and then the thankful for you. Have any of you ever played with this ephemera? It's really kind of addicting. Here's another one where I cut the card apart and then used the ephemera on that. Here's another one. I used the eyelet embossing folder, so I have like a tone, like the white on white. And the eyelet embossing folder is carrying over too. That's exciting. But then I just used this little wreath and the thinking of you and made those cards. And then I did this, and this was a combination of a lot of things. But this is just got the strawberry plant. The little blueberries tart with sparkles of strawberries. So I just kind of used or took bits and pieces that related to strawberries or fruit and put those on. And then lastly, I made a full-size card that used this little from the labels and layers. And then this little typewriter came in the something for everything with one of the little sentiments and a heart. But I thought, gosh, that's a cute little card, right? Fun to send to somebody, right? So there's that. And now let's make our. All right. So what I do is I kind of go through these ephemera pieces, punch them all out. And then I was looking at these books and the camera, and there was a little stack of suitcases in here too. And where did that go? All right, let's look over here in this pile. Looking for suitcases. Here's books. And the suitcases. So I thought, wouldn't this be cute to have like the coffee, the suitcases, and a camera? And then I like books, but maybe books aren't the right thing. So like if you were going to travel, and let's see if there's anything about like a great adventure of some sort in here. Oh, you know what? I think that was on this other piece of fun little sentence. Let's see. Let's see what comes up with these. Um, there's some really, really cute things in here. Um, let's see if we can find something we like in here. I got lots of stuff. Um, and this is what I do. I just sit here Here, look at this is a cute thing. It says follow your heart. It knows the way. And I'm way off the camera. Sorry. See what happens when you create? You get all this stuff and holy cow. All right, so let's bring in one of our note cards. And these note cards measure, I think it's let me just 3.5 by 5, okay? And they're already scored. And remember, when you fold a card, you always want to bury the bump. So you fold it in towards the bump, and then you get a nice smooth edge with the paper sliders instead of it cooking, right? Okay. I'm not seeing comments, but I know people are out there because I can see the number of viewers. I have to move some of my stuff so that you can see what I'm doing. All right. I love the suitcases. I love the camera. And then doesn't everybody have to have a coffee to start out their vacay? And then follow your heart. It knows the way. Love that thing. So then let's see if there's something in these labels and layers that's going to make us love our backbone down. Maybe one of these. It's kind of like this one too, that looks a bit like a note card, and it's kind of the right colors. This one has some good, like little sunshine on it, right? Ooh, this one kind of looks like a luggage tag. So let's see what we can come up with. And that's what I like to do is just make up with, right? So when I'm looking at these, could it go this way? And we could have our little sentiment down here in the bottom with our coffee cup, our luggage, and our camera. Yep, I think I like that. Or should we go this way with our luggage, our coffee, our camera, and our sentiment? I like that too. Cute saying. Oh, there's lots of cute sayings in here. So let's put this together. I'm going to first of all lay this down, and I just want to use some of my stamp and seal. You know what else I have not been using and I need to get better about using is my maybe that's all. But oh, here it is. I need to get better about using my silicone mat. And the reason I say that is I end up getting glue and adhesive all over my glass board. And you do know that these glass boards are available in the catalog. So here we go. Let's see if I can remember what I was doing here now. Put a little bit of stamp and seal on that. And we'll go, you know what I wondered? Yeah, this will be good. I'm going to put this in. And then I want some of my dimensionals because what's hard without dimensions, right? So I'm going to take the suitcases next. And I'm going to raise those up just a little bit because the card needs dimension. So we'll add those on. Here we go. Put this in here. Where'd our cake go? Add some dimensionals to that. And um there's lots of different things in here. Like I was just thinking about this sentiment about follow your heart, it knows the way. I feel like this would be a great graduation card too, with that adorable little sentiment down there. I feel like our sentiment was kind of lost in the white. So maybe it's what we need. Ooh, kind of like it up there. I feel like that makes it show up better. And another thing we can do is take our paper snip and we can flag the end of this so it's not quite so plain. And then we can add that right up there with the flag. And I think that helps it um, pop out just a little bit more, pop up. So let's put some dimensionals on that. You can see I'm using the edges of my dimensional. My old waste not, want not, right? So let's put that like right in here, like that. And then I think we need a little bit of sparkle, don't you? Or let's see what else we have in here for ephemera. There's a little butterfly. Hmm, that might be too much on there. Let me grab a little bit of sparkles or some sort of here. I've got my little container of new sparkles. New sparkles. Are these new sparkles? Yes, they are. When I say new, I mean in the new catalog. Actually, this one might look kind of cool on there. This one could too. It's always such a disaster when catalogs switch over because you have to like go through and find all of your current stuff and get rid of your retiring stuff. You don't want to be sewing things that people can't get anymore. So I'm gonna try these. I kind of like it because um, they match the blue on our sentiment and on our suitcase. And if I these are big, so if I tuck them down, kind of feel like if I tuck them down by our, um, can't see what you're putting together. Can you now? That one is cute. Yeah. Oh, I see. My comments weren't. I think you can see it now, right? Hope so. Anyway, so there it is. There's one. But see how quick like they go together? Then there's an adorable little envelope that comes in that pack that I showed you with the note cards and envelope. And if we wanted to, um, maybe that adorable little butterfly that we had going there, or what else do we have? Mm-hmm. There's stars. So let's use this adorable little butterfly. No, that's the wrong color. Maybe we use, there was another coffee cup in here. There were two different sized coffee cups. maybe we take this and put that on the inside. And then there were some tiny little, I'm going to move it up so that you guys can be sure to see because I don't know what it's going exactly. I don't like the white or I want a colored one. Maybe that. And just have like a little star on our cup on the inside with like a congratulations or happy graduation, or another one that I saw in here was like a way to go. But it's a parade. Really do love these sentiments too. All right, so I'm going to wait on this because I'm not sure about it, but put this together. So there's one that we've done today. And let's just take a look and see what we can come up with to click on another one. So let's bring in another one of our note cards. And as I said earlier, it's already scored, so you just fold towards the bump, give it a bone folder. All right, let's see what we can come up with this one. Now, this was a card base that I cut into 4 pieces. So I showed you earlier, I had made these using the fully flowering ephemera pack. And so I used this card base as my background on them. Oh, good. Good, good, good. You can see what I'm doing. All right. I'm going to take a bunch of dimensionals and put those on flower. And this flower is very pale. I don't even know if it's going to show up on my camera, but it might. But just know that this is one of the flowers from the um, fully flowering ephemera pack. And again, all of these ephemera packs and cards and whatever that I'm using are from page 19 in the annual catalog. And the note card pack can be found on page 17. So 17 and 19. All right, I think I've got all my backings off. So now I'm just going to put this in the center. And then there was this really cute saying about good vibes sent your way. So all I'm going to do is take my stamp and seal, add some adhesive to the back, put this down, okay? And now I'm going to add some dimensionals to the just the ends of this sentiment. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm going to have it go over the top a little bit of the stem that's raised up. And so I want to keep everything on the same plane. Okay. So I'm just going to put this across like that. Look how easy those are. And it's cute, I think. Hope you do too. And I hope you'll give it a try. So you guys remember how I used to have my host code up at the top of my screen? Well, Stampin' Up! Has made some changes, and host codes are no longer a thing. So, um, yeah. So I won't be doing host codes anymore. But please know I do appreciate um, you shopping with me, ordering with me. I truly, truly do. So let's see what we can find. Wondering, we have these, they're called antique pearls. And I'm just kind of wondering what a couple of these really pretty pearls might look like as the center and these flowers, and they're gorgeous. Love them. And like I said, I have no idea how this will show up on my camera, but just trust me, they are pretty. And I'm just using some different sizes again, just to add some dimension. Good morning, Debbie. Are you at the lake with um, Mary Alice, or are you viewing from home? All right, so there's our little note card. And the thing I love about this too is, so when you get your little design here, um, oh, there was a saying in one of these, good vibes sent your way. And I thought there was another one in here that was going to go nicely with it, but not at this time when I find it. All right. But know that you get enough stuff. Like once you go through and do your design, there's two of everything. So if you spent a lot of time on your design and you just want to recreate that same card, you can do 2 for 1 on those. All right, so there's another one of our cards. I really like that. And these antique pearls are beautiful. And they will be carrying over into um, the new catalog as well. So just know that if you don't have them and you won't be ordering them before the 30th, you guys, isn't it crazy that today is already the 6th? I mean, there's 4 days left of April, but maybe I feel like that because I was traveling and, but anyway, let's take a look at this. Simply said, that coordinates with this, right? So I'm looking at this and I see this thing that says just a note, which, how perfect is that? And I think it's going to fit right on this little piece from the labels and layers. And I need a stamping block that I have right here. And I want to use my early espresso because of the dark strap on that tab. Just open this up, this down. And remember too that the silicone mat helps when you're stamping with photopolymer stamps. It just gives it a little extra cushion. So I'm just going to drop this down right on here. And you guys, I know I've said this a million times over, but you count to, like I count to 5. Give the ink time to, to transfer, to penetrate onto the paper. And you get a beautiful, beautiful image. All right. So there's that. Just a note. And then I've got this one too that I want to use on another card. So I'm going to set this aside for a minute. And then let's take a look at this. And I think that these birthday wishes are going to fit perfectly in there. And because there's this little bit of black, I want to take my stamping block. I'm going to pick up the photopolymer. I'm going to ink it up with my Memento ink, making sure that I've got really good coverage on my stamp. And then again, I'm just going to stamp that down. And I get that pretty, pretty image, birthday wishes. All right. Then let's bring in one of these card bases. And here's what I was talking about earlier when I made 4 cards with, 4 note cards with one of the card bases, because I cut it in half. I cut it apart and then cut it in half. So I had four pieces. And I think I'll do that again. I need to close this black ink before I have a real mess going. So let me grab my little trimmer and I'll show you what I mean on that. So you've got these are scored, right? So I just put it in and then I just kind of check on where that score line is on the cutting edge. So now I've cut it in half and I didn't cut it exactly straight. So I'm just going to fix this up a little bit. Now I'll be safe. All right. So now this measures 5.5. So I'm going to cut this at 2 3/4. Okay. So now I've got these two and these two. And I'm not kidding you guys. You can make more note cards than you ever even wanted just by changing these up a little bit. So let's take this pretty flower from the fully flowering. I'm going to put it on here. I love this back page. And then I'm going to take, how do I want it? I'm going to put this across. I want this back behind. I'm going to add this in like that. And then maybe there were some little black and white butterflies in here, but I may have used, here's one. And that'll be perfect. I'm going to add that up in there. Let's get our note. Oops, that one I already did. Isn't that kind of fun? Just a note. And I popped up the frame, put the background down, added the cactus in there, so it's like a diorama. Kind of fun. All right, get that up here. And let's get a note card in here for this one. And then we'll bring this up into my note card. And look how that makes that just pop, right? Now, I did think of one more thing here, and I just want to grab it out of my drawer. But I don't know about you, but I feel like linen thread makes everything pop. And when I looked at this, it was like, oh gosh, I think this neat label. And there's some more little punch outs here that I didn't punch out. So I'm gonna take those out and I know you can't see what I'm doing right now. All I did is take a pick tool and I just wanted to get those little things out of there. Then I'm gonna take my linen thread and I'm gonna wrap it around here. I'm gonna wrap it around twice and then I'm gonna tie a bow. I'm just adjusting the loop on my bow. Slide it down here. I'm going to trim this. My special ribbon scissor here. Thanks to my friend Peggy who fixed my my little beaded chain there for me. I'm going to spin this around. Maybe. I think I can just move. Maybe if I bend this and then it'll shift a little better. Yeah, right? Because I wanted that bow down away from my sentiment, kind of at the bottom, right? So now I'm going to take this, add some dimensionals, but I'm not kidding. Just once, if you order these ephemera packs and you sit down with them, just be prepared to sit down with them for a while and kind of look things through and see what matches up, um, saying wise, picture wise, all of that. All right, I'm going to put this down with the stamp and seal. And are you seeing all these cute little pieces in here? I just love it. I want to use this, and I'm going to keep this flower flat. But I want to make sure that I have, I'm going to have that up there. I'm just going to put this right across here, and I want to make sure, I didn't want the, I guess you have to remember to take the backings off here, off the mirror dimensions. All right, I'm going to do a little more dimensions here. I need one or I need a couple here on this edge, like that. And then I put one right in the middle so it stays sitting up nice and doesn't sag down once it sits for a little bit. Move everything up, Ginger says. Move everything. All right. How's that? I'm sorry that I keep moving out of the thing. So I'm going to set this down here. And then we have that little butterfly that we wanted to add in. I'm just going to give that a dimensional. And we can add that right in here. So there we have another little note card, birthday wishes. And then there are some fun birthday sentiments in here, but I'm not going to stick around with that one. I'll just move that off to the side and I'll put a sentiment in it later. And if any of you know me, you know I have a bajillion cards that I say I'm going to put a sentiment in and then I don't. So here's our just a note. And I'm trying to figure out like what would be a good thing on there. And with this little lighthouse in the background, maybe. Now this is truly how I create with these. So I've got that little lighthouse in the background, and then there's this adorable little anchor. And what else might be a good little piece? No, I don't like the banner. Not too much value. Well, and then there's this adorable. There was another, just a um, single sailboat I don't know. These are the wrong colors. So let's punch out this sailboat. And maybe I'll use this frame for something else because there is like a potted plant in there, or even I can just find something bigger that will cover up the, like even this. You could have that frame back behind the pastry cart. I don't know. But I do kind of like this. And then what if we had this little sailboat down at the bottom? Kind of that sailing theme, right? Let's bring in our note card. And do we need a background? Do we need a background for this? Let's take a look at our card pack and see what we have for backbone. I don't think we're going to we'll use that. But let's see what else we might have. There were the blue cards. This one might actually work quite well. We've got this blue stripe, and this was from the January to April mini catalog. But this just has some blue lines on it. That, hey, oh, thanks. So then if we take these ephemera pieces and just move them up onto our card base. I had all these ephemera pieces and it was like, oh gosh, with the catalog ending, like I need to start working with these and use them up. So, but like I said, the good news is a lot of them are carrying over, and I know that the black and white verses will be in the annual catalog, but the other ones are not on last chance, which makes me think that they may be moving to online exclusives. And you guys, don't forget about online exclusives. They are adding more and more stuff to online exclusives. They'll never be, there's some things that they add on there that will never ever be seen in the catalog. So if you have that, I don't really mean fear of missing out because it's just crafting supplies, which obviously you can tell I love. But be sure to go out there and check that out because there are things that only appear as an online exclusive. And there are some really cool things out there right now. Some really cool kits, some really cool suites of products, things that aren't going to be published in a catalog. So, and then two, when things are retired out of a catalog, and if they have, a bigger inventory, you can, they will move them over then to the online exclusive. So they aren't fully retired yet. They're just moved to online exclusive. So don't miss out on that. I can't emphasize that enough. And even myself, I'm so used to having a catalog that I don't always think about going to the online exclusive, but I am getting better about that. So be sure to check it out and just kind of do a little reminder to yourself to um, check it out. All right, let's finish putting this together. I'm trying to decide. I don't think I really like it on the big cards. So again, I'm going to cut this. And I'll first of all just cut it at 2 3/4. And then I'll just cut it on on that core line. All right, so now I've got my little piece of blue. And I wonder if this little sunshine would be kind of cute. Yeah, I kind of like this peeking out over here, like that. And then I can cover this side with these. Here I go again, Ginger. I'm down too far. Sorry. I guess I just like creating closer to me. Let's get our little sailboat in there and our anchor. And yeah, I like that little bit of added color. So now let's leave it there, leave it there. Let's glue them down. I can see like a little punch out in here. I'm not exactly sure how many there are, but there's one more. So there's like 4 little holes. Supposed to look like a tear off ticket, I think. And I wonder too, I like that sunshine up there better, I think. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to take my adhesive and I'm just going to put this on my sentiment. Then I want to pop this one up, I think. I'm going to add some dimensionals. Now, these note cards are kind of fun. Fun to stick just like on people's desks. Fun to leave at a table, like if you go out to eat, just to leave it as a little gift. Put your tip money in there and leave them a little card. I love doing that. I had made a bunch of them to take on my cruise back in February, and it was really fun, just like at your dinner plate, to leave a little note. All right, so this one, I'm just going to kind of put back behind the lighthouse, and then the sailboat, I do need to pop up just on this bottom corner, and then when I set it down, I want to add just a touch of blue because I want that to overlap and glue down onto our center. Well, let's get that off with a magic eraser. And then same thing for this. I'm going to put just a little dimensional and a touch of blue. Let's see. Oh, I thought, oh, that works kind of well. Put it right over here. So now I've got this. You can see where I kind of smeared the ink a little bit with my glue. These are amazing. They're sand erasers. I just get them off from Amazon. I can't remember if they come in a pack of 2 or 4, but you can always share. But take it takes that smudge off very nicely. And then I feel like because this has the lighthouse and it's all kind of about a bright, shiny day, I'm going to bring in just some of the um, rhinestone basic tools and let's add just a little bit of sparkle. Ooh, that was crazy. Did you see my light dim there for a minute? I wonder what. Let's just add a few of these in here. We'll add one there. And maybe one more. Let's add just two of them done. So there we have it. And for today, you guys, I hope you've enjoyed seeing these ephemera packs and the note card and envelope packs. I really do love them. So like I said, I had them sitting, and it was a plan to put these together. And now that the catalog's retiring, it's like it's go time. So again, here's this one that we did today. Look at all these pieces, and seriously, I have made an absolute ton of cards. You know what I just found in here too that I think is super cute is the fish. And I don't know what that would look like, but and see, this is where it goes. It's almost like you have like attention deficit, like, oh, you know. But here's a green fish, or an orange fish. Let's see what we would put a little. Nope, not gonna work. And this one's even bigger, so no, it's not gonna work. But you know, you can just keep going and going and going with these. So we've got these that we did in our time together today, Coffee and Create with Brenda, episode 419. And then I have these that I had done another day. I've kind of been playing with them all week. But if you joined me late, you probably, but know that I do upload to YouTube when the live is over. But I mean, and this is just a small smattering of the cards. So there's lots of possibilities. I hope you'll give it a try. And be sure to stop with me at Create with Brenda. See you guys next week. Bye for now.